The U.S. is boosting its military assistance to the Philippines with $50 million set to be provided in aid, along with more Navy vessels. That's as tensions in the region continues to rise over disputed resource-rich territories in the South China Sea. Now, analysts say it's an increasingly assertive China that seems to be the real reason for Washington's growing engagements in the region. Well, the U.S. has been steadily beefing up its military presence in the region. Japan is its main ally there with 50,000 American troops. South Korea coming in second with 28,500 U.S. military personnel. There's also the American security hub of Guam, which hosts several military bases. Under the Asia-oriented policy, the U.S. has been strengthening its alliances with Australia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam, deploying troops as well as seeking to sign cooperation agreements. America claims that it's just protecting its economic interest in the region, but as RT's Paul Scott explains, that doesn't seem to be the case.
America's increasing interest in the Asia-Pacific is defined by the White House as an attempt to strengthen economic and security interests. In a paper released in 2012, Washington makes no attempt to shy away from the fact that China's dominance in the region is a concern, saying its emergence has the potential to negatively affect America's economy and security. That goes some way to explaining exactly why the US is beefing up its military presence in the region. But the exact extent of their muscle flexing is causing some to suggest it's an attempt at containment, which will only intensify friction in the region.
The idea that the United States is protecting the interests of the world against Chinese influence is clearly absurd. All the United States is doing is ratcheting up military tension and pressure at a time when the world doesn't need it at all.
Disputes over territory are the main reason for heightened tensions. The South China Sea, rich in oil and fish, is the main bone of contention. Washington is backing its ally, the Philippines, in that dispute, upping its military support to the nation by 2/3, while also strengthening its military ties with Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei and Vietnam. The United States say there needs to be greater clarity over China's strategic intentions. But as Washington maintains they want dialogue, they continue to expand their military presence on China's doorstep, rattling the world's second-largest economy, a dangerous game of brinksmanship in a region where tensions are already high.
The Philippines hope the United States may help counter China's territorial claims in the South China Sea. Dr. Thorsten Patzberg from Beijing University says the U.S. should try and work with China rather than countering it.
The U.S. tries to kind of contain China at the moment. China has a duty, because of its military rise, to actually challenge the reigning champion in Asia, the U.S. And likewise, the U.S., of course, cannot retreat or retire. It has to face the challenge. China's influence is growing. Even by Western measures, standards, China is already the second largest economy. It is sure to surpass the U.S. I think there's no doubt about this. That's what the figures tell us. So in the end, the U.S. has to work together with China instead of suppressing its rising influence, I think.